Hello, everyone. Welcome to the employer check-in for February 2026. This session will provide a demonstration of our members' self-service and health insurance in STARS, including beneficiary updates, retirement estimates, requests for subsidy, how to add or update enrollment. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate your attendance so that we can inform you and provide you with updates regarding the STARS project. Today, as I noted, we'll provide an update for the project and then go into member self-service and employer subsidy requests for retirees. For the STARS project update, kicking off final end-to-end testing in major functions such as pension and refunds. For health insurance subsidy, payment from PSPRS to employers. We started working with the employers a couple of years ago to obtain ACH information for subsidy payments to be made to the employers for a faster movement of those funds from us to the employer. If you have not been able to set that up, please reach out to our insurance department and they can provide you with information regarding that ACH information payment setup. Training has begun. The first 2 weeks of sessions that Harold presented were a great success. Training videos and training manuals were available on STAR's webpage if you missed the session or need a refresher. Please be sure to review the employer training schedule that is available on the STARS webpage. By clicking on the individual sessions, it will provide you with a link to register. You can register for future sessions you would like to attend to get them on your calendar. But we highly recommend attending the trainings where you can listen to Harold and I live and in person. So let's go on to the member self-service. So here we've logged on to a member who is active. So from this point, the member can add a beneficiary, request a retirement estimate, update their user profile, and go to the public safety website if they need to. Here on the navigation panel, we have demographics where the member can update their address and contact information as indicated on the page. Please note that the active member will need to update the information with their employer as well. You can add here, edit here, and edit also here. My beneficiaries. The member can update beneficiary information, and the member will receive an email confirmation of changes. Use the update link, click on the beneficiary name. We'll provide a wizard for the member to follow in order to add the individual beneficiaries to their record. And yes, this is in place of what we in the past had requested, which was the membership form to be updated. Members will now go here to member self-service and update their beneficiaries. If they have any changes in the future, this is where they'll go to update those changes in the future. Account information is a view of plan enrollments and employment details. So right now the member is active, so that's the employment details that we'll be showing here for this individual to show them that they are tier 3, their date of hire, their start date, service start date. So they are in their election period. Documents. Member can upload documents and review PSPRS produced documents. So here it's just a quick click to upload the information, and it will be added to the member's record. And if there's any review or anything, then that will be done on our side. E-forms. E-forms available. There is the beneficiary designation, and there is right now, that is what's available here. The member can update the beneficiary by completing the beneficiary form instead of updating demographics. And their beneficiaries here on the webpage, but in order to make it a quicker process, updating my beneficiaries here is actually a quicker option. Pension estimates. A member can run an estimate here on their website, so they can follow the retirement estimate calculator, and this will provide them with information regarding their earliest retirement, when they are becoming eligible retirement estimate for them to review. Service purchase estimate. A member can create an estimate or click an add to create a request. At the end of the wizard, the member has the option to submit for processing. So again, the member would need to read this piece of information here regarding what happens with the service purchase, but they can create their estimate here in this portal for easier movement of getting that information. Appointments. These are sessions and registered sessions. So this would be sessions that we would note to become developed by public safety to provide information to members. Secure message. Member can communicate with PSPRS via secure email with their questions around a variety of topics. This also includes the option to upload information via secure email. So this, the member can note a subject. The topics are quite the list here that they can choose from in order to note the topic. They can note their social in here, as this is a secure message that will stay within STARS and come directly to public safety to be reviewed and answered. FAQs. While I don't know that all have been built out yet, this would be a place for the member to review any frequently asked questions that may be able to help them with regards to what they are trying to address. Contact us. This is information regarding contacting our office and office hours. Plan elections. This will walk the member through the various stages of that enrollment process in order to make their selection timely within this portal. The enrollment wizard will provide them with the steps to walk through and be able to get those elections completed and noted in the system. Retirement application. This is the request for submitting the application for retirement. So there is step-by-step wizards here that will walk the member through that process. Oops. And this does provide the member the option to report their exit drop to our office. So we can go through what steps we need to in order to ensure that is completed timely for the member. Refund application for those defined benefit members who are choosing to refund the contributions on record. This refund process will start here. And this clicking here will initiate that refund application process and provide the member that step-by-step wizard in order to go ahead and remit their request for refund. Cancer insurance. So this is where the individual would note their membership in the cancer insurance, which for public safety, it is for all members, and it will note the premiums that are paid annually. And more, we've got cancer insurance claims, which would note here if and have that be able to give that member the option to submit a claim for the cancer insurance. Disability application. Specifically on this screen, it will allow the member to start the disability process or continue to work on the application. Once the form is open, there are options to reset the form, save the form, and submit the form. By submitting the form, the member is moving the disability process to the local board. And the local board should see the application and the local board self-service and begin working with the member on next steps in the disability process. And requests. So this would be a request for exit drop or a demographic change. And that is information regarding the account for an active user in member self-service. I'm going to exit this individual and we'll go ahead and log into the next individual who is a, let's see here. Oops, dad too far. You get the correct user. This is for an eligible retired member. Well, I did have a challenging time logging into a eligible retired member, but it would be similar to what we saw with the active member. What is provided there and a bit more, what I was going to provide in a bit more detail would be that the member is eligible to show that a pension estimate, which an active individual can go in and request an estimate and review that on their record. So it is similar to the active member that I was just showing. So now we are in the member self-service and logged in as a retiree. So again, the member can update demographics or the retiree, as this is now. They can update the demographics, address, point of contact, if they want the paperless delivery or not. Beneficiaries can also be updated here for the retiree. The account information shows that the individual is no longer active, that the accredited service all line up to that defined benefit eligibility for the tier 1 person. And it does have information regarding the fact that the retirement did start and that there was uh, movement of the contributions to to note that they are a retiree. And again, documents the individual that will have access as a retiree to the 1099-Rs that are run every January for those retirees who are receiving a pension. And again, the different screen here, the added menu option for a retiree is My Payments. So this will note that the individual is receiving a normal retirement effective in 2015. Their status is retired, that they did begin receiving that normal pension, and the payment history is here also. So the individual can go in and get information regarding the taxes withheld, medical and dental. So it'll show the deductions, what bank they're using, and information there. Again, the menu is still basically the same with regards to all the information that is available to the retiree, but the difference is this retiree does have My Payments menu option, which was not available for the active contributing member, as they were not receiving a pension amount. Okay, now we are going to go into review the health insurance. So as you can see on this, for this employer, what we have here noted is the individual here that's logging in has access to the employer role, which is for contribution reporting and demographics. We've got the local board role, which is the 9,000 series, and the retirement, which is the 8,000 series for health insurance subsidy. And again, this is an overview of the health insurance access that employers who do administer the health insurance for their retirees will have access to. So the roster will have a list of the retirees and provide the option to add a new retiree if the employer does have a retiree that's taken COBRA, that's returning to work as a retired member, and can take the active insurance. And the employer can export the roster. Now you can also filter to see if that individual is already here if you need to. It gives you various options. You can also click on that retiree SSN in order to view a few more details regarding their enrollment in the employer administered medical and or dental. The retiree insurance provides the more detailed information regarding the type of coverage the individual retiree is participating in, medical and dental. And again, if you click the SSN, it does provide you with a bit more information. Unfortunately, I don't have access under this user to go any further, but there is more information that would be provided here if the individual logged in had that access. This also does give you the option to terminate the coverage or change the coverage, which is what this is for the employers to update the retiree and their health insurance, dental insurance vision, or pharmacy, would update all of that here. And the employer does have that option to filter and to export this information if they need to review it outside of STARS. This does provide the option to upload documents if needed. Imports is where you would add the import of a health insurance file, which is an Excel file that the employer would need to make changes to or add a new retiree. And most employers probably might only do the add a new retiree, which would be here in the roster. Add a new retiree, you would start the process of adding that retiree to this roster, and then provide you with the wizard to note which type of insurance they are enrolling in with you, and whether or not they have any dependents that need to be added. There is a wizard that will walk you through that. Once you get past this, add a new retiree, it will ask you that question. Or you can click on here for this retiree. If you add a new retiree, click on the snowman here and you can add a new enrollment if this is a new retiree. And it will walk you through the steps here to add the various types of coverage for that new retiree that you're adding to your roster. Reports, this is where you will schedule a report, which is the insurance listing by totals, which is what normally employers do get from our office at the end of the month. You will be requesting that report here and pulling that report and getting that information from this location. And so you do not have to wait for our office to supply you with that report. If you have any questions that you need help with, please go ahead and use the secure message. This is a new area for all of us, but this is where you can note more detailed information regarding the member that you have questions about or retiree. With regards to, again, health insurance, as this is the 8000 series that you're logged into. And so this is just all about the employer administered medical and dental, vision and pharmacy, if you have that option that you are providing to your members. So for April, the data conversion will include current health insurance information we have on record for the retiree. The information will carry over. However, if there are any new enrollments or changes effective April of 2026, the employer will need to report the new enrollments or changes to the retiree records in STARS employer self-service area. And again, where the employer would usually report premium changes to our office by providing PSPRS with the new rates or completing the ER subform for new enrollees, and termination of the coverage, updates such as these will be completed by the employer in STARS through the employer self-service area. And that concludes our review of the information regarding member self-service and the health insurance view in employer self-service. We are still having monthly meetings, which will be held on the third Wednesday of each month, at least through May of 2026. The next meeting will be on Wednesday, March 18th at 1 p.m. Thank you everyone for joining us, and I hope you have a great day.